Matty Johns joins us thanks to New Tech. Optimise your business with automation. Here he is, the great man. Matthew, good afternoon.
Shug, Fletch, Tourist, Broxy.
What's happening, Matty?
Oh, mate, no, not a real lot, Joel. Just getting ready for the weekend, mate. Getting ready for the weekend football, kicking off tonight. I don't know quite. I mean, everything tells you Melbourne, but you know, how many times the Panthers played two poor games in a row? I think it might be a lot closer than we think.
Yeah, and there's no Dane Laurie. They're putting Jenkins at the back, but we feel there might be a late change with Blaze.
Yeah, I reckon he might get a start, Fletch. Yeah, I reckon. Oh, and look, you know, I've said this before. I think there's no doubt to get him into the Penrith system, which their attacking system is fairly complex, start him where he's used to, fullback or outside backs. It'd be very, very difficult for him to go straight into the halves.
Oh, you know what they'll do? You know what they could do? If he came in, Brian, I agree with Matty. I think they would put Alamotti to the wing where he went in the grand final and Blaze ease him into the centres.
Oh, okay.
Would they do that?
Very possibly, mate. We can ponder.
Yeah.
We can ponder, question. Yes. Yeah. So what are you blokes? What's been going on? You had Fitzy on before?
Oh, yeah, the great Fitz. He's one of the best. He's one of the best. Sugar reckons he's going to win a comp in his career, and I don't doubt him.
Yeah. It'd be an easy bloke to play for.
Oh, he would have me, wouldn't he? Oh, as far as...
No, but yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Nah, just Blake, you want to win for it. Look, you know, a lot of people wouldn't really understand this. There's oftentimes two types of coaches, and the coach that I always preferred playing under was the one that made you train really hard, but there were no mind games.
Yeah.
It was just, this is what I expect. Train hard, you do this, we haven't got a problem. The other sort of coaches are the ones that just play mind games all the time, you know, send text messages in the middle of the night and things like that.
Check your fridge.
Honestly, to play underneath one of those, it would just be torture.
But I liked how he said too, Brian, like he said about Sammy Stone Street. He said he likes the local establishments. And
no, he said you often see him in the community. He was presence in the community. Yeah. What a great way of saying he's at the pub.
Stone Street and Stone Streets.
Yeah. That's right. Good stuff. What about your mate Brandon Smith? He's making the move next year to South.
Fantastic. Great move for Brandon. Playing, I mean, he and Wayne will be peas in a pod. And look, blokes like Wayne and Craig, they're a perfect example of what we're just talking about, is that they just let the players know, right, these are the rules, this is what I expect from you, and away you go. No mind games. I'm not going to stuff you around. This is how you play. That'll suit Brandon down to the ground. If you look back in the day with Bellyache, he and Bellyache had such a great relationship. He'd take the piss out of Bellyache, and that's the thing about Craig. And the same thing about Wayne is that they let players be who they are. And those two blokes can handle big personalities, so it's a great move for Brandon.
Where would you play him?
I would play him, Fletch, if you're picking a team tomorrow, and Brandon's there to be picked, and you go, right, we're playing against the Broncos, what are we going to do? I'd say, right, Brandon, you're going to play the first 20 minutes in dummy half for me, or the first 25. I'm going to give you the rest of 15 off, end half time, second half you're playing through the middle. Just as they start to tire, I'll give you a big break, but then, mate, I need you to play the last 40 minutes through the middle for me.
Which he'd handle it easy.
Yeah.
Like the way the game's going now, leg speed it's all about.
Spot on.
Yeah, that's what I like to do. Now, we've got a show on tonight. Is everything okay? We're all ready to roll?
Mate, we're good, mate. We've got everything. Everything's what did I say? Diddly squat. Tickety boo. Everything's tickety boo, gentlemen.
Now, Matthew, apologies. We're trialing this new thing. We've got to go to an ad break, but it's going to be a live ad break. So we've never really done this sort of thing. So just listeners, I'm hoping that this will work. We'll see you after the break.
Here's Carl's phrase with the Daily Grudge.
Many talk of the old ancient story of the slimy eel and the gullible bulldog. An eel and a bulldog were one day playing for keeps out west, and the eel pointed behind the bulldog and said, "What is that?" The bulldog turned to look at what was behind him, and the eel slapped the bulldog in the back of his head with his tail as hard as he could. The slap felt like a tickle to the much stronger bulldog, who then proceeded to grab the eel by the throat and bit his head off, ripping apart the eel's main artery, and the headless eel bled to death. People in life try to cut corners, especially if the odds are stacked against them. But if you're going to be an underdog, don't be a blunder dog, and let the football gods guide you with a bounce of a ball or an awful call by the NRL bunker.
Carl's phrase for dailygrudge.org.
Oh, very good. So we can't take credit for that. Who was the maestro behind
the
that?
Daily Grudge, he calls it. New Zealand Tiger in Oz. How good?
I think
that is good.
We need one a month.
Yeah.
I mean, one a week. We
man.
need one a week. I'm sorry.
How is Carl? Have you heard from
He's
Carl?
going.
What does he think of it?
He's going all right. I saw him in Misty's a couple of weeks back. He was just up
Playing the old rusty trombone.
Oh, Brian.
there.
Good on you, New Zealand Tiger. That's beautiful stuff.
It is very good.
We've got my wife here actually at the moment. We're having just a discussion. We did the family podcast the other day, and the term rusty trombone came up, and Trish was like, "What is that?"
Yeah. Did you watch? Did you tell her to watch series 1 of?
Yes,
Yep.
I said series
Lotus?
1, and it's just a little, I never thought we'd be having this kind of conversation, but there was Trish sitting there, all ears, eager to listen, and Cooper and I were just explaining the rusty trombone. Never did I think that I would be standing with my son explaining the rusty trombone to my dear wife.
How did that come up in conversation?
How did, Trish, the rusty trombone, how'd that come about? I don't know. It was just, Fletch, I was just freestyling.
Yeah.
Once you get out there and you just get on a roll, mate, it's just that fire that comes out. Actually, we're talking about White Lotus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The railings and honestly, I've seen that. I've watched that 3 or 4 times. It just keeps getting better.
It's one of the great scenes.
Brian, you've got some good news.
Question for you boys, just quickly there. Can I just ask you a question there,
Yep.
Sugar? Do you think that was the script? Or do you think that they sat down? I'm of the latter. I think that they actually sat him down and said, this is sort of where we want to go, but we're going to roll the camera. You just go for it.
Well,
I hope it's the latter.
I know Mike White is very, very talented, and we've seen in these shows bizarre scenes. The rusty trombone is Exhibit A, but you might be right. You might be right, because I didn't... Imagine the bloke, he's the mate opposite him. What's his name in the show?
The bald fella.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder how many takes it took. Because it just went... I don't even know where it was going.
See, that's the Farrelly brothers. That's what they do with Bill Murray. They'll get there, right, and they'll say, right, this is how the scene goes. But what we'll do is, the end, the scene, Bill, this is sort of where we want the scene to go. But, mate, you just go. Yeah. You do whatever. And so the golden rule they do with Murray is they keep the camera rolling all the time. So a lot of those little one-liners with Bill Murray in movies like Kingpin and whatnot, he's just added that in. Through just
and I'd imagine,
freestyling through genius.
I'd imagine Will Ferrell too. He looks like someone who's a mad freestyler.
Yeah, I think without a doubt. Sorry, Joel, I interrupted.
No, I was just saying Fletchy had some good news for Trish yesterday, Brian.
Trish made the Pat team. We have a wacky team every Wednesday, and she made it under Patricia because she was a 7. And
7 out of 10. Yeah, he's been kind.
No, she was our captain. Our captain and halfback. Don't be like that. I'm getting a bit nervous now that I'm speaking about that. Now, Matthew, what about this? Now, have they learnt about... Have the Bunnies learnt from previous lessons? They've offered Cody Walker a 1-year deal. Do you remember what happened with Adam Reynolds when they offered him a 1-year deal?
Yes.
Would you give him a 2-year? If he asked for a 2-year deal, thoughts? Would you give him a 2-year?
Both in DCE, like they're both in a similar. I'd give them both 2-year deals.
Yeah, same.
I can't understand this. Like, and this is a sort of new one to Cody, and I reckon they'll get to 2 years. But the DCE one, like you go, okay, man. Like if you're not going to re-sign DCE, okay, if you're not going to do it, he's asking for 800, and you're only going to pay him 600, whatever. Okay, who's going to put in 7?
Yeah, exactly.
Like who's out there, and the same thing applies to South. Who is out there that all of a sudden, if you don't re-sign Cody, right, who goes in and plays 7?
Yeah.
Who's the person? And at the moment, those two blokes they're playing great football. I mean, DCE is in the top 5 7s in the competition, surely still. It makes no sense.
On that, Brian, so if, say you pay, for the sake of 1 year or 2 years, 200 overs or 150 overs, it's essentially player 29 in your roster, really. Like, You need these players.
You do need, and we've seen it. And as much as I thought young Duffy, he hasn't had the greatest start to his career. I know he'll end up being a first grader, but having seen, you see these young sprue kids come through, and the jump from Queensland Cup or New South Wales Cup to NRL, it seems to me it's just getting bigger and bigger, that gap.
Spot on, Fletch. I mean, look over the years in the NFL, how many first-round picks have been quarterbacks who've come out of college and just been like incredible stars and got in there and struggled. Like Johnny Manziel. It actually got to the point up until about 3 or 4 years ago. Their thing was, mate, don't take a quarterback in its first pick because it's just far too unpredictable. You see other guys like Mahomes went a lot further down the list. The requirements in being a star in schoolboy football and being a star in NRL football are very, very different. Completely different. And that just backs up what we're saying. If you've got a tried and true there, just hang on to him as long as you can. And the other thing about older blokes like Cody and DCE, it's not just what they do, for themselves. Their presence and their leadership makes others accountable and others better all around them. So it's a no-brainer.
I'll tell you what, if Daly Cherry Evans, I don't see this happening, left Manly, it'd be a Cooper Cronk story again, wouldn't it? Wherever he went, it would just work, wouldn't it? Yeah,
I feel it needs to be the right club. I've got two sayings just talking about this. The grass isn't always greener, and the other one is better the devil you know. I made that last one I've just in.
Did you? Yeah.
Wow.
Does that work?
Swift. Yeah.
Does that work?
I love that.
Is that quite apt?
Better the devil you know,
as
in N-O or K-N-O-W.
K-N.
Gotcha. Now I'm across,
you're hanging out with the devil, right?
Yeah. Sorry, I thought there was almost like a comma. The first time I heard, I thought you went, better the devil you know.
Yes. No, that's
as
right.
opposed to the better the devil you know.
Hey, Matty, we were talking earlier, they've got the golf on in the background here, and the Masters meal is a topical thing, isn't it, Brian?
Yeah,
What's your absolute must-have if it was you choosing the Masters menu?
Hot on the food?
Yeah, because the former champion gets to choose
What's
the
he got, Scheffler? It's like a beef sliders or something. And
steak, prawns. He's gone that. It's pretty simple. Simple. But, Matthew, you've got a pretty simple taste
Yes.
buds.
I've got a very simple palate. So if I've thought this before, if I was about to get the lethal injection or who knows, electrocuted, or many other ways to be put to death, but if I was about to
breathed on by Gus, one of the three.
Vossi, if they said, what do you think, mate? I've thought about this. I would go 2 quarter pounders, 12 nuggets, a large fries, and a caramel sundae. There you go.
There you go. Do you put the chips on your burgers or no?
Yeah. Yep. Actually, throw in a cheeseburger there and a small fries as well.
Beautiful.
Matthew, this is a text from a listener. Can greedy people be movie of the week soon? Hathead.
Hathead, we'll take that on board. I'll pass it on to Liam Alexander. And it'll happen. It'll happen in the next few weeks. Okay. And tomorrow's Memento.
Oh, yes. Is that Guy Ritchie?
Yes. Guy Pearce.
Guy Pearce, sorry.
Yeah.
Guy Pearce. That wasn't the movie that all the drama with Kevin Spacey, was it? No, that was LA Confidential.
Okay.
Have you seen that?
No, I have not. No.
So, have you seen that, Matty, when he came out?
Yes.
Oh,
yep.
Scathing.
Wow.
Scathing, Kevin Spacey. Just before you go, MJ, what's your thoughts on Shane Flanagan Christian Tuipulotu with his
celebrations? Yeah, I've got to pull him back a little bit because I don't think Christian's really got the timing exactly when he does it. Like, I sort of get the feel sometimes with Christian, they could be 40-0 down. He scores a try in the last moment. He jumps up and lets it rain. I probably think he's got to educate him at a time and a place.
I'm thinking he might be on bonuses. Like, he might get $3,000 a try or something like that. You know, like he signed for a lower deal, but every time he scores, cha-ching. He gets too large in his kick.
Poor old Lachlan Ilias too. He's had a bludger over the last 18 months, and then Flano coming out and saying that it's crook. I think Yeah, I know he rang in and apologised to the young bloke. A public apology.
Oh,
Nice
sorry,
to say
Matty.
this.
We've got to let you go because we've got another
Right.
ad break. We've got another ad break.
Carl Face.
Carl Face.
All right, mate. I'll see you tonight.
Thanks, Matty.
See you, boys. See you, lads.
Here's Carl's phrase with the Daily Grudge.
Many talk of the old ancient story of the slimy eel and the gullible bulldog. An eel and a bulldog were one day playing for keeps out west, and the eel pointed behind the bulldog and said, "What is that?" The bulldog turned to look at what was behind him, and the eel slapped the bulldog in the back of his head with his tail as hard as he could. The slap felt like a tickle to the much stronger bulldog, who then proceeded to grab the eel by the throat and bit his head off, ripping apart the eel's main artery, and the headless eel bled to death. People in life try to cut corners, especially if the odds are stacked against them, but if you're going to be an underdog, don't be a blunder dog, and let the football gods guide you with a bounce of a ball or an awful call by the NRL bunker.
Carl's phrase for dailygrudge.org.
Now, I need to press you with this. By the way, Matty Johns, thanks to new tech automation for manufacturing, Brian.
You're still here? We'll see more on the Joel and Fletch socials and catch us live on SEN Radio. Because if you don't, you're an A grade, but if you do, you're the absolute Mickey.